Consultation, and what it's looking at is to make sure that our fake reviews are outlawed. So there's many young people, especially, that have turned to online shopping, base their purchasing on reviews, and there's something like £23 billion worth of transactions that are based on reviews. And if they're fake, then clearly they're not getting what they wanted. So we're trying to improve the choice for consumers, giving a level playing field. We're going to outlaw the host paying for reviews or paying for hosting reviews. Also subscription traps as well. So people that are subscribing for something and maybe there's something left in their basket or they're not quite sure what they're signing up to, we're making it really clear that operators, that retailers have to make it absolutely clear that people what they sign up for is what they get.
And I imagine this has been fueled in part by the pandemic, the huge surge in the amount of transactions we've seen over the last 16 months, Minister.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's something we were looking at before and we were working through before, but clearly, as you say, it's been fueled by the pandemic, and we want to build on what we've learnt over the last 14 months as well, and that's why we're out for consultation. So I'm really looking forward to getting as many views back from people as possible, so we can really
and how do they make their
finishing
views
touches
known?
on the bill.
How do they make their views known?
If they go to the gov.uk website, the consultation will be there.
OK, just a couple of other matters while I have the Benedict on the line. I'm sure you'll accept that theatre is not a small business, but it is still a business. And Lord Lloyd Webber, very disappointed last night that he had to cancel Cinderella. He's making the point, can we just get on with our jobs? One of his crew or cast being found to have had COVID. He's got a point, doesn't he? This seems rather draconian to close down the whole show. Cinderella not go to the ball, Minister.
It is really frustrating. I'm the Minister for London as well, and theatres are so part of that ecosystem of what makes our city fantastic. And we really want to see theatres open.
Well, what would you say to Lord Lloyd Webber? I'd forgotten you have the brief of Minister for London. As you rightly say, I don't need to tell you how much money these bring in to the tills, the coffers of London. What would you say to Lord Lloyd Webber's assertion that just get on with our work?
Yeah, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to get that balance right. We're trying to back out of people's lives as much as possible, and that's what the changes yesterday were for. But we are still living with COVID. It's not that you get to, like a film, you kill the COVID baddie and the end, roll credits. We're still learning to live with it. But I think it's important to understand the test and trace and the difference between test and trace and the pinging that a number of businesses have been facing. We want to give people the informed decisions, to make the decision to keep them and their communities safe through the app. You legally have to isolate if you are contacted by the NHS in terms of contact tracing, yes, or if you're claiming self-isolation payments. But the app is there to allow you to make informed decisions. It should be there for the employer and employee to have those sort of conversations.
You say you want to back out of people's lives, but as of September, young people are going to have so-called passports. Why the change of thinking there?
Well, I think again we're learning about the disease. We're learning from examples like in the Netherlands, for example, where there's been quite a big set of cases from nightclubs there. Now, nightclubs can vary from big white warehouses to smaller rooms. It's so much of it is about ventilation, and so much of it is about the variants and their the effect with vaccination. So we're encouraging people to get vaccinated, but we're also working through the winter period. We don't want the NHS to be overwhelmed through the winter.
But it's just a raft of confusion, not necessarily from you personally, Mr. Scully, because we were told that vaccine passports won't be necessary. Now we're told they will be. We're told we don't need to wear masks as of Freedom Day, but in many cities, if you want to board a bus or a tram, they are. It is just bewildering. Why is it such a plethora of mistakes and missteps?
Well, look, I think in terms of, you talk about masks, for example, I don't think that is a mistake and misstep. What government is saying, government is no longer going to make it law. But it is up to operators to make their own decisions. What we've had over 16 months is government telling people what to do, and I don't feel comfortable doing that as a Conservative, as a Libertarian Conservative. I want to back out people's lives to make them make the decisions as they always have done, and that's up to operators, it's up to employers, it's up to individual choices as well.
And just to clarify on these ideas of these so-called passports, it's not just nightclubs then, presumably. Will it apply to then theatres and cinemas, possibly church services?
No, we're not ruling anything out, but I think what we're talking about is...
You might need a vaccine passport to go to a carol service.
No, that's not what we're saying. Right. What we are doing though, we're talking about, especially places where there is where ventilation might be an issue, where people are getting together in crowded areas, and we'll work through the detail. But what we want to do is give fair warning now. so that we can work through the detail with operators over the next few weeks. We are encouraging venue owners to be using this on a voluntary basis in the meantime.
It's been reported that the pay rise on their way for our NHS staff is around 3%. If that's correct, do you think that's enough?
Well, I haven't seen that at all. I think that will be based on the recommendations of the NHS pay review
Were it to be
body.
true, would you say that is about right?
Well, I don't want to speculate on that. I'll look at the detail when it comes through. I mean, it's important that NHS workers are paid a fair wage. Clearly, they continue to do incredible work, but we've got to do it in the framework of a holistic view on public finances as well.
Thanks for your time. London Minister and Small Business Minister Paul Scully appearing here on LBC, where the time is 3 minutes before 8. Let's stay with business and the supply chain to the nation's leading manufacturers teetering on the edge of collapse and needs government intervention. So says Ingenuity. Its CEO, Anne Watson, joins me now. Just in a sentence, can you explain, Anne Watson, what is Ingenuity? Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Ingenuity is a not-for-profit organisation working with the manufacturing sector, particularly focused on skills. So the HGV skill shortage amongst drivers is a very important topic for us.
And what has led to this shortage, and what could the impact be?